So I have a couple projects. On-chain, I run Fight Club, which is Bankless DAO's investment DAO. So we run syndicate deals for pre-seed, seed, early stage investments, and we have an accredited network of almost 200 accredited investors worldwide. And then off-chain, I deal with distressed, and we're actually looking to bring distressed lending on-chain, U.S. private credit opportunities on-chain. So that's still kind of in stealth mode, but yeah, it looks like it's gonna happen. So background is I've been a prop trader, quantitative trader for almost all my career. I fell down the crypto rabbit hole in 2019. I was running a market neutral crypto hedge fund, and we closed right before Terra. So since that point, I've been doing, I know, my investors hate it and they love me. And since that point, I've been doing angel investments through Fight Club. So just applying the same things is a little bit different. I think early stage investing is more about the team, right? Just understanding the tech and the use cases. We want experienced teams, founders that have already exited, they know when to pivot, and we're not leaders, we're followers. So we try to partner with as many VCs as possible, just to make sure that, if we do find something niche, we show it to them and see if there's use them as validation. So it really comes down to meeting the founders, meeting the devs that they have, kind of understanding the founder's background and what their interests are, what their passion, their experience. We're doing this from an angel viewpoint versus institutions, right? So if you're running money for a VC, you have a much bigger portfolio, you're allowed to have more misses. Mm-hmm. So if you invest in 10 things, you can miss on 9, but you want to hit at least 1 home run. Versus on an angel side, you don't want any misses, so you're going to be a lot more conservative in terms of your investments, right? So you're going to look for very experienced teams that have already exited, that that they know how to raise money, right? Or they know how to go into a token launch, right? That's what you're looking for. A lot of it is actually seeing if they have product market fit already. And a lot of times you see 6 or 7, or probably even more than 6 or 7, different solutions to the same problem, and then we have no idea which one is going to actually win, right? So we might actually stay away from that, even though we're like, oh, that's such a great problem, that's a great solution, but we've seen 5 other projects that are aiming to do something similar. We just don't know who's going to win on that. On an investor standpoint, you don't have that much capital you can't spread across the board, right? Okay. So it's okay, we'll watch and see which ones will have, be in the lead. But I think at this point, we've seen too many projects. They'll start ahead, and then this other project will be oh, but they're missing this, and then they'll leapfrog, and across the board, there's actually not enough traction, and then they all kind of pivot or do something else. So we've seen that happen too many times. So we're okay, we'll just stay away from that and find maybe the one thing that's a novel solution. It's going to be a big ecosystem thing, a new research topic or something like that. In certain niche areas, there's product market fit. How long it's actually useful for and can they expand it is a different question, right? Because everybody's found niche product market fit within the Web3 community, but everybody strives to bring Web2 into Web3 and find that product market fit there. And I think that's missing. But I think within the Web3 community, right, NFTs, they found their product market fit, right? And DeFi has their product market fit. So it's what is the next genre? And then you'll find little instances within that genre of where do you fit within that ecosystem or that thesis. We're a syndicate network, so everybody has their own thesis. So I can't say, okay, this is where people are leaning, because some people, their thesis is SAFs. I want a token, I only invest in this token, or they're SAFEs plus token warrants. Mm-hmm. So, and then some are geographical, right? They're okay, we know our market well. So everybody has its own thesis, which is great. And we don't dictate it, right? Because we're followers in the investment space. Mm. So the community comes together, we review deals, and then we kind of vote on, we're interested in this project. So it's using collective minds to kind of filter. And then we'll bring the founders in for an AMA, and once we have an AMA, we write an investment thesis, and we send that out to our network of accredited investors. So it's a little bit of okay, we're using collective filtering and collective experience to kind of go through. No LPs, it's the members and then the accredited investors. So if, for example, some of our accredited investors are smaller VCs or family offices, if they're interested, they just reach out and say, hey, we like an introduction. If that project has an allocation, they're still raising, then we just easily make an introduction. But sometimes our projects are oversubscribed, so then it's like, well, they've given Fight Club an allocation, so if you're interested, but usually we have a very small allocation. The flow is actually pretty straightforward. We have like a weekly call, and we just get on and discuss, the deck, what we know about this, or if there's other projects they've heard about. And then we'll just like kind of vote with emojis. It mimics what an investment firm does, but on a way like less scaled down a bit, and that's pretty much it. And then the voting process kind of just each step incrementally, people vote with emojis. Mm-hmm. So our community will list all the questions that they have in Discord, and so when we run the AMA, we try to answer all the questions there. So I don't know if it's wisdom of the crowd, it's also like not knowing of the crowd, it's the noobs of the crowd, because that's actually where we get the best questions, where we're like, what does this do? Like, how does this work? Yeah, so I think that's equally important. Yeah, and like our community is, when you think about it, there's a lot of them are experienced Web2 people, right? So if you can explain and they can see adoption in that way, then you're actually like, okay, you're onto something. But if you get lost in the details of technicalities of this blockchain, whatever, then we're just, most people are like, we don't see how you're going to generate business revenue. Like, that's what it comes down to, is like, how do you make money?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right now, I think we're more in public goods. There's a lot of projects and like consultants that charge projects for help for what we do, which is we review their decks, we give them feedback, we do introductions, we help them network, right, and connect them partnerships. There's a lot of people that charge for that service. We don't, because we're trying to help the ecosystem grow as a whole. So far, it's been a volunteer effort. I think at some point, probably closer to the bull, we will do some sort of token raise so we can build that treasury, because we see a lot of great projects. And that's why they're willing to give us allocations, because of our goodwill and effort, right? I think that might probably be the next step. We had an education program prior to the bear market where we were training our members to be deal scouts, right? So if you think about Bankless DAO, 20,000 members, if we can train a fraction of that to, go through businesses, help them make decks, and help get their business model right, it's a pretty powerful service, right? And you're going to help local communities scale up. As they have developers, they might not understand the actual how to raise part of it. So we would like to continue and to revisit that, but again, that takes a little bit more funding and like organizational. So that's the next steps. So like restart that program, get people going. We had like great traction during the bull. So yeah.